Welcome back. You're watching Newsx. I am Rishabh Gulati. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us, you, me, have an opportunity to view the world not only as it is, but how it should be. We live in an amazing country. I mean, it defies the imagination, the sheer diversity and the complexity of what it is that makes India and its federated structure and its civilizational history and its peoples of different ethnicities and languages work together. But when systems work, sometimes inherent biases creep in, all right? So it is a truth that English is a major bridge language for us. Should it ideally be? No. Is it a legacy of the Raj? Yes, but as things stand, it's a bridge language. We don't have to fight it. Let's be happily embracing it. I'm speaking English in an English language newscaster of which I am editor-in-chief. There are 6-7 major English language news networks in this country. The truth is that almost all of them are headquartered in North India. The truth is that the senior editorial teams of these channels, they are mostly filled with people from the east or the west or the north. Not enough representation comes in from Tamil Nadu. So it's an inherent bias that has crept in. So all of us have an opportunity. I have an opportunity. What can we do to understand that and work towards it? So let's put something on your screens. This is 5 years ago. Okay. So if you look at, this is available on YouTube, so you can you can do Newsx Tamil Nadu or Newsx Kiladi, and you'll find telecasts that we've done here. Here's my colleague Devika. You see her anchoring. All right. What is she discussing? She is discussing Kiladi, one of the most fascinating archaeological sites in the country. We've not done one, we've done dozens of telecasts. So hours of television programming nationally, and of course there's streams all over the world discussing what's happening. You can see over here 40,000 views 5 years ago. Okay. The report on top is also Newsx. Report beyond that is a ground report from Kiladi. Okay. I've had to work on my pronunciation, which I know is imperfect. It's Kiladi. Okay. About 4 years ago, for the first time on Newsx, I asked some of my colleagues to host a Tamil language telecast. So it was anchored in Tamil. It was a telecast, a TV telecast happening on Newsx, in which even I could not necessarily understand all that was being discussed and said. Because we understand that we have to take steps not to understand the world as it is, but how it should be. When the last elections were taking place in Tamil Nadu, politics consumes us with all sorts of this is being said, that is being said. We did hours of programming of what Tamil Nadu now represents. Think of it, the next spaceport, the launching station is being built in Tamil Nadu, in Kanimodi's constituency in Thoothukudi. When you talk about space startups, many of them are originating out of IIT Madras. iPhones being manufactured in Tamil Nadu, it's becoming a tech hub for the country. It's becoming a trade hub for the country. Massive potential with the ports that are there. I mean, an economic driving engine. So many good things are taking place. We have to talk about the good, not just the bad. We also have to address serious concerns, legitimate or imaginary, that do exist. So for example, if we do a delimitation exercise in this country, all right, we have to ensure that South Indian states who have been better at imparting education, who have been better at population control, should not therefore feel punished for having a lower population and then extra seats go to UP, Bihar. So we have to be cognizant of these things. We have to balance them out very carefully. From language to culture and tradition, it is a pleasure to be seeing the Tamil Sangangam happening in Ahmedabad, happening in Varanasi. It's a celebration because Tamil pride is Indian pride. I'm Punjabi, it's my pride also. Fascinated by what is found in 5,000, 6,000 year old civilizational heritage that comes out of Tamil Nadu. In fact, if you want to see the grand temples, old temples of India, you have to go to the south. In the north, they were all destroyed. So they exist in the south. So at some point of time, we have to get past the parochial politics of this. If media personnel like me can make the effort, if organizations like ours can make the effort, politicians of all hues can make a similar effort to find things that unite us rather than the old trick of divide and rule. So you pit North Indian versus South Indian. We've seen it Hindu versus Muslim. In the recent past, we've seen it North Indian versus Punjabi. I am Punjabi now. Recently, it's become Punjabi versus Sikh. Our history is not this. It's a lot different. So, which is why I'm flummoxed. I don't understand it. Why are we fighting or having a north-south battle over the rupee symbol 15 years after it was adopted? It's not a fight worth having. It's just, this is a waste of time and energy which needs to be put elsewhere. But here we are. So, reference to context, Tamil Nadu's budget has come out in the last 24 hours. In the budgetary documents, there's a rupee symbol which all of us have recognized and is utilized. That rupee symbol has been changed with a Tamil symbol which means RU. Now, it's fine. It's not a mandate that you have to use a rupee symbol. I can write RS, it's perfectly fine. It's not a mandate. But what have we just achieved? I'm not so sure. So, there you can see on your screen. So, this was what in 2024 you had the rupee symbol, in 2025. Now, the rupee symbol not necessarily has to do anything with language in particular. It's a design ironically made by a Tamilian, ironically the son of a former DMK man. So, let's get badly stuck. What have we achieved here? I'm not so sure. There are very legitimate and far more effective ways that all of us, and Tamil pride is not an issue for Tamilians, it's Indian pride, is an issue for you and me, to involve ourselves in, to engage ourselves in, to visit, to just embrace and love it and feel it. But we've gotten stuck here. This is a petulant conversation I'm being forced to have. I'll much rather not have it because it doesn't make sense to me. What a stupid fight to get into. Now, Tamil Nadu CM has done it. Now, the finance minister responded, that this is dangerous, that this can promote secessionism. I don't know whether this was ordered or was a happenstance or who made the decision that this would be replaced. I'm really not sure what we have achieved here. There are better things we could have done with our time and energy. I'm not sure this is one of them. Let's have that conversation nonetheless, since we are stuck with it. Narayanan Tirupati joining us on the broadcast. He's the Vice President of the BJP in Tamil Nadu. He's a proud Tamilian. Kevin Sunny joining us on the broadcast as well. Sumit Peer joining us on the broadcast. Narayanji, let me begin with you. Now, you are a part of the BJP, have been for a long period of time. So, you and I have been having all sorts of conversation now going back more than a decade. We've been sitting and having all sorts of difficult conversations. And yes, sometimes there are tough conversations, sometimes there are combative conversations, sometimes we get stuck with conundrums, and language and history and culture are all things we need to promote equally. Is this a worthwhile conversation, sir? Is this a fight worth having?
Yeah, I can't answer you whether it is worth or not, but because it is the same way. English is very familiar with Tamil Nadu, but not very much in Hindi heartland. This is also a big problem. So these problems put together, politicians take advantage of it, and that is what they are doing. And I don't I blame squarely the Congress party, which was in power, which had said that when they introduced this three language formula, they said that the Hindi speaking states should learn a southern language and we should try to make southern people learn Hindi. So that promise or that kind of policy, I think the Congress should have definitely continued with and see to it that they should have seen to it that Hindi-speaking people learn a South Indian language, which they failed. The Congress government miserably failed. And of course, I do understand and I do acknowledge that as a country, definitely as a government, we failed. And that is the reason for everything. So that time, Mr. Annadure also was very clear in saying that you learn Hindi, you learn Tamil, I learn Hindi. That is what he had said. There is nothing wrong. That is why the three language formula also had
Okay,
come.
but there will be people, Narayan Tirupati, who would reasonably feel that very few people in the north of India make an effort to learn southern languages, be it Tamil, be it Kannada, be it Telugu, which is just a reality of where we are. So how do we encourage people to do this?
Rishabh, that's what. See, the way the central government or Congress, forced or tried to make people in Tamil Nadu or other southern states to learn Hindi, they should have done that. They should take an effort. They have not taken, the government did not take any effort to make understand this language. That is the main thing. That's what I'm saying. Which it promised. So we never moved on that direction. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
the effort took by the central government to spread Hindi. It is mandatory because it is an official language. It's there in the constitution. There is a department working for that. So I don't say Hindi should not be taught or Hindi should not be learned. It should be learned. There is no problem. We have to. But the importance for other languages also should have been given, which was not done by the Congress, and more than 50 years went, and that is the reason, sole reason for
no.
This
So let's fix it. I'm telling you, and this is the ironies of India because of the complexity of where we have emerged. So I am a product of Macaulay's Minute. My English is better than my Hindi, and embarrassingly so. Even though I'm Punjabi, I can't speak Punjabi very well. And now that I have children, I really think about it, that that's a horrible thing to happen. I need to make an effort so I can pass on a language. Otherwise, the language over as decades pass will die. So we have to take on these things in a reasonable way. But what are more effective ways of taking them on? Fighting over a rupee symbol, is it or is it not? Let me pick up that conversation.
It is unnecessary. That's
let me take this up with Sumit. Sumit, it is a truism. If you are a Tamilian in this country, you have a right to feel that, listen, nobody in the north bothers to even try, to try to understand the basics, even though Tamil Nadu has given us, thinkers and leaders and scientists and, so many people who contributed to the building of this country. But there is a bias. Now, how do we address the bias without getting into the petulant argument over what the rupee symbol should look like? Because then we'll agree on nothing.
Rishabh ji, Vanakkam, and thank you very much for having me on your show, and happy Holi to all you and all the viewers. Look, Tamil is the oldest language. Tamil is a part of Indian culture, and Tamil culture and itself is very much part of the Sanatani culture. Let's not forget, when you talk of Shiva, you talk of Kashmir and you talk of Tamil Nadu. When you talk of Murugana or the Kartikeya, you talk of Tamil Nadu. When you talk of the biggest temples, you talk of Tamil Nadu. When you talk of 9.2% contribution to GDP, you talk of Tamil Nadu. When you talk of the second highest contributing state to GDP and the second biggest economy in the India, you talk about Tamil Nadu. These are all the things which are known facts there. The people, if you go on the ground, I have been extensively working with them, for so many years. The people there are quite open, they are quite Hindu, they are quite Sanatani in their belief, in their outlook and in their way of life. But the challenge has been, if you look at Hindi, around 60 crore people speak Hindi. If you look at Tamil, 7 crore people speak Tamil. Yes, there has not been an effort, to mainstream some of the southern languages. That is something which we have to live with. We have missed the buzz there, and still it's not too late to begin. The challenge today, more than that, is today if you go to Tamil Nadu, everybody by default will speak English. 90% of the people will speak English, and unfortunately, English has kind of taken over as the national
No,
language.
but they speak to English to you and me. No, they won't speak it to English amongst each other. They are very happy
Correct.
speaking to Tamil amongst each other.
That's what I am telling you, Rishabh. So unfortunately, English has literally taken over our national communicating language, not the national language. The challenge here is when you talk of this rupee fiasco, look, DMK's brand of politics is soft separatism. Like, we had this NC with the flag and this constitution and all. They always had this soft separatism as an agenda. But when these issues are dying, when Tamil Nadu is becoming the most contributing part of India, and Tamil people are really contributing, when you have an external affairs minister who is a Tamilian, proud Tamilian, you have a finance minister who is again a Tamilian, and there are 5 people in the cabinet committee of security, rather 4. Out of them, 2 come from Tamil Nadu. When Mr. Stalin's brand of politics is not holding on, so he's looking for these issues, how can he create dissonance?
Okay, but Sumit, let me reverse the question. Okay, because not too long ago we are having the same conversation in the context of India, right? That right. India in its leadership elite was an English speaking leadership. It is now a vernacular speaking leadership. Many of the senior members of the cabinet are more comfortable in vernacular languages, Gujarati, Hindi, necessarily than they are in English, which is a language does not come naturally to them because it was a foreign language. That's not how they grew up. So we've had this conversation that this is Bharat, not necessarily just India. That in international fora we should define ourselves as Bharat. So if as a country we can say that this is the future we are taking, why are we telling people in Tamil Nadu or MK Stalin that you can't use a Tamil symbol for rupee?
Look, it is not a question of symbol, Rishabhji. It is, you are trying to find a political issue where you can rally people around you. You see the new ports, the development, Bharatmala, Sagarmala, GDP contributions, 2 most important ministries of the Union Cabinet are with 2 proud Tamilians. And nobody in India has a whisper around, nobody's talking, it's not even a discussion point. But Mr. Stalin's brand of politics works on this divide. So he's trying to find these things. He's trying to fish in the troubled waters, trying to find something and make it an issue and associate it with Tamilian pride, which is not the case. The problem is there. The person who's replying him is again a Tamilian. Nirmala ji is a proud Tamilian. She replied to him. So is Tamil Nadu and Tamil culture only something which is Mr. Stalin has inherited? Is it the IPR is with DMK? If that is that, tell us. We have Mr. Narayan Tirupati here. Is he not a proud Tamilian? He is. Nirmala ji, Dr. Jaishankar. Who doesn't know Dr. Jaishankar today? Who doesn't know his diplomacy today? So when you talk of icons like Dr. Jaishankar, who's a global picture, he's a global personality today, he's a proud Tamilian. Why Mr. Stalin does not talk about a Dr. Jaishankar? Why doesn't he endorse a proud Tamilian who has made India proud and he's known everywhere in the world? There's not a country who doesn't know Dr. Jaishankar. Now, when you are not highlighting the good things of it, but you are trying to fish in the troubled waters, trying to the small issues, so that your brand of politics.
So let me ask the same question then. Kevin, let me put the same question to you, because yes, we are at the same time saying that our identity, how we look at ourselves, needs to have a classical renaissance. We need to look back and say, okay, we are not necessarily India, we are as much Bharat. So if we can do that on one hand, why should we have an issue with how the Tamil Nadu budget spells or denotifies the rupee?
So Rishabh, so when you look at this issue, you cannot take a very periscopic perspective on this. You need to look at what is what the causality behind this. So when Tamil Nadu took such a stance, it is also, you have to understand that it is a response to the kind of Hindi imposition that has been happening. So South India, we South Indians are being punished for the development that we have done. So when you look at it, there is a Hindi belt very active right now to bringing in Hindi imposition. There's quite a lot of conversation. When a South Indian goes to the north, we try to speak Hindi. But now we have seen multiple incidents in Bangalore, in Chennai, all in South Indian states where North Indians come and then they demand that we South Indians speak to them in Hindi. So this is part of a political agenda, and I think this this feeling comes from a response to that, because India, the idea of Bharat is a very inclusive one, but the basic postulate of that is that it is built based on fundamental fairness. But today the BJP government's agenda it's their bank politics aligns so much towards this Hindi.
No, but you have a prime
imposition.
minister who goes out of his way, the finance minister who go out of their way. I mean, the Tamil literature poets are being celebrated in Varanasi by Yogi Adityanath. They are being celebrated in Ahmedabad. You have a Tamil Sengol which is presiding over parliament. Would you say that this present government has made zero effort in promoting Tamil culture and language?
I would say that those efforts aren't enough. See, those efforts, yes, there are certain small half measures, but that is, so when you contrast it towards the effort of being taken by the BJP in imposing Hindi, this is trivial.
But
And
when the Prime Minister comes and says that Tamil is the oldest language we have, okay, he says that it should be made a classical language. You know, he quotes Tamil authors in Parliament. Is he not trying to do the right thing?
It is not enough to bring in that inclusiveness. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying yes, he is, but it's not enough. That's what you're suggesting.
It's not enough. He is the Prime Minister of all Indians, not majorly the Prime Minister of his board.
Okay, so let's come to the specific point. What is the point of rejecting a symbol designed by a Tamilian that defines the rupee and replacing it? What have we achieved?
It is not rejecting. They are identifying it with something else, which also in effect means the same thing. Rupiah, rupees, or the rupee symbol. It doesn't matter. It's a Tamil budget. Let them do what they want with it. So if you want to really address issues, if you want to address issues with the budget, think about this. For every rupee Tamil Nadu pays in tax, how much does Tamil Nadu get back? And for every rupee Uttar Pradesh pays in tax, how much does Uttar Pradesh
No,
get
they're all legitimate.
So
legitimate issues. That then
that is a legitimate issue.
No, there are 100 legitimate issues, but at the same time we are being distracted because this should not. What can we agree on? Can we agree on anything as a country? That a Tamil person comes and designs a symbol for a rupee 15 years ago, and out of the blue for no reason, out of what can only be described as parochialness, is MK Stalin trying to remind us that we are different countries, that we cannot celebrate our diversity without being different? What if tomorrow somebody comes and says, no, we don't like the concept of rupee, the name rupee is an alien concept to South India, we should change it? Then what do we do?
So then let me ask you a question, Rishabh. So on that note, let me ask you a question. We had accepted Ahmedabad as a name of a city for quite a long period. Why did we change it?
No, I began the question by asking that if we can change, if we can go from India to Bharat, why is this illegitimate? I asked, that's a reasonable question to ask. I'm not saying your question is unreasonable. I began with this premise that if we are saying Bharat and not India,
Rishabh,
you can change these things.
Rishabh,
But what is this achieving other than foisting animosity?
So the basic thing is this: when a portion of people feel that they have been dealt an unfair hand, it is quite natural that they try to find something they identify with it, and that is what all of South India is facing right now.
Okay, all right. So there is a perception. So let me get Narayan Tirupati in. Narayan Tirupati, in the end, so you're a politician. MK Stalin is also a politician. You're also involved in governance, but that's a separate issue. Politicians do what they think connects with the people. Obviously, an MK Stalin feels that this is an issue that will connect with the people. Why else would he do it?
No, see, first of all, I totally deny what Mr. Kevin Sunny said, because nobody imposes Hindi now. That's what I have been very clearly saying, that the Congress failed to grow the regional languages. I never said that the Hindi was imposed on us, but Hindi should be learned because it's an official language. That's a stand. You accept that?
Hindi is not the official language.
It is the
Hindi
official
is not.
language.
So where is Hindi official language? Sir?
It is constitution, sir. I never said this national language. I said it is official language. Please
it is one of the official language. Tamil is also another official language.
No, Kevin Sunny. Please listen to me. Hindi is our official language. English is our link language. Tamil is one of the 22 scheduled languages. Please understand this. And
no, sir, I disagree. I disagree. Tamil and Hindi. By all constitutional records, Rishabh ji,
I was keeping very quiet.
Let's hear him out, because he is not factually incorrect, Kevin ji. Let him make his point. Let's hear him out, and then you can dispute it.
Let me call out one factual.
Kevin ji, he heard you out. Let him at least make his point, even if we can disagree with him. Let him make his point.
I was keeping very quiet when he was talking.
Yes, please
I
go
never
ahead.
want
Mr.
to tell
Tirupati,
the
go ahead.
See, once again, I'm telling you, India has got no national language. India has got a official language in Hindi and English, linked language, and other 22 scheduled language. And three language formula, yes, the government promised that all languages, particularly South people, will learn Hindi. Hindi-speaking states will learn South Indian language, which they failed. The second one, they failed. But now, the accusation of Mr. Kevin Sunny that Hindi is being imposed is totally wrong. This government doesn't impose Hindi.
No. So let's put the government aside, Narayan Tirupati, but he is not wrong in saying that more people in South India will feel the need to learn Hindi, and almost very few people in North India, even those who travel to the South, feel that they should learn at least one or two basic conversational language, Tamil, Kannada. That's the truth. It's a bias that does exist.
Rishabh, allow me to speak, okay? See, that's what I said. In the first national education policy, Hindi was compulsory one. In the second national education policy, when Rajiv Gandhi was there, Hindi was compulsory. In this national education policy, in BJP government, it is not a compulsory one. We have mentioned it is any Indian language, and also we have given the options we have left the options to the state governments. Please understand, what language that state has to learn is left with the state governments. So, no imposition of Hindi, which have been very clearly said. It is not the BJP government which is imposing Hindi.
Okay.
It is not the NEP.
Okay. So let me interject with.
Let me finish.
Yes, please finish.
So many. And Mr. Kevin was talking about, we heard this much and it is not like that. See, we have all, because port is there in Tamil Nadu, it is a manufacturing state, because wherever ports are there, that will become a manufacturing state, obviously, naturally, whether it is Gujarat or Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, yes. Now, we have a Hyundai car factory here.
Yes.
People in Uttar Pradesh also buys, people in Jammu Kashmir buys, and they pay tax. So it is not that just because we produce here, it doesn't mean that this money belongs only to Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
That's what we are saying.
Okay.
You should not talk like that.
Okay, so let me interject
and
at least.
One more thing, Rishabh.
Yes.
Because it is manufacturing, we do that. In the UP is agriculture state. So from UP, we are getting same value. 10 lakhs worth of car we are manufacturing, 10 lakhs worth of agriculture produce we are getting here. But agriculture produce, we don't pay tax. What do you say about
okay,
it?
all right,
So
okay,
we are
I don't want to lose
last
track
thing,
of the conversation.
Last thing, Rishabh, to Kevin Sami, please understand, India for rich administrative purposes divided states. Please understand.
Okay, so let's be reasonable, okay, and I prefer reasonableness. Yes, it is a truism to say that if you are a Tamilian living in India, you should reasonably feel that you do not see many North Indians making an effort to learn South Indian languages. It's a reasonable assumption to make. It is also reasonable to say that this current Prime Minister has not on one or two, but on every possible occasion talked about promoting the Tamil language. Is that been enough? You can argue no more needs to be done. But I have seen in Varanasi a Tamil literary festival going on, what we call the Sangamam. We've seen it happen in Gujarat. It didn't need to happen, but an effort is being made. A Sengol did not have to be in parliament when an effort is being made. The PM in his speeches did not quote Tamil authors and poets, but he does. So an effort is being made, but all right, more can be done. But within this, Sumit Peer, within the reasonableness of this, why would we say that 15 years ago, when the DMK was an alliance in a Manmohan Singh government, a national competition was held, a Tamil man won the competition and a rupee symbol was selected. 15 years ago, the MK Stalin, his father, his other colleagues did not have an issue. Why do they have an issue today?
Rishabhji, the answer is very simple, because in that point of time, their brand of politics was still getting traction. Now, if you see after Maharashtra, Haryana, and a few elections which have happened, even Aam Aadmi Party for Delhi, this local regional brand of politics where they were trying to make those VPNs, virtual private networks, and run their politics within that is diluting. The youth of India, the person of India is talking of Bharat as such. We are not looking into compartments of region, caste, division and all that. They have been the traditional divisions. So when they are diluting If you look at for example Akhilesh Yadav, or if you look at Tejasvi Yadav, or if you look at Mr. M.K. Stalin, or even Mamta Didi, they're always looking for these small issues wherein they can keep the flock together. I want to ask 4 questions, Rishabh. 4 crore people, 66 crore people went to Mahakumbh. 4 crore people went from Tamil Nadu. Was there a separate Tamil Bhat, a separate Tamil language? Was there a separate Tamil food? No. Everybody was together. So if you want to divide on the rupee, today you have rupee written in Hindi or English or whatever. Now tomorrow one more state might come up and he say, I want this rupee to be printed in 32 languages. I'm not happy with that. For my rupee, I want my language. Then somebody might even come, for my rupee, my language, I want my God to be on my rupee. Otherwise, I'll not accept your rupee. If we are going like that, we are causing those divisions.
So let me put that question to Kevin.
Sir,
Kevin,
last
finish
one
your point.
sentence, sir. Rishabh answer. I want to ask Mr. Stalin, with due respect, sir, when Sengol, the proud of Tamil Nadu, and we know your wife is a devout Hindu and she is very often to temples and all, when the Sengol was brought into the parliament by Modi ji, you and your party chose to skip that. When Tamil pride was installed in the parliament of Bharat, you chose to skip that.
Okay, so let me put that, Kevin, in all reasonableness, it is possible to have reasonable conversations. So I agree with you. The premise is correct that more people in North India should be making an effort to learn South Indian languages, regardless of whether they intend to live there, travel there. And if they intend to live there and travel there, for sure, at least they should be conversant with the language. You might not be writing your PhD in the language, but you should be conversant with the language, for sure. But at the same time, 15 years ago, the same parties in the union government, under a different leadership, different prime minister, who adopt this symbol, 15 years later, I mean, it smacks of political chicanery.
Rishabh ji, the difference is 15 years ago, it was much more of an inclusive climate here. What the BJP has done in the past 12-13 years is that to damage that secular, inclusive fabric of this country, and that is why all this is coming up. And that is a causality.
Tell me one thing.
No, let him finish. I'll give you a chance to end the debate, Mr.
That is a causality here. Because if you look at what the BJP is doing, so you have Holi today, and see, you take a contrast between the north and the south. In south, we have a very good secular fabric. Every religion coming together to celebrate everybody's festivals. And in UP, you have a mosques being covered because.
I'm happy to report to you, sir, that if you're referring to Sambal, they've had a holy celebration along with Eid and Friday prayers parallelly together. So if you're suggesting that North India hates each other, you're wrong, sir.
So North India doesn't hate each other.
No, but that's what you're suggesting. You're saying in UP, Hindus and Muslims don't get along. That's not true.
No, it is not the Hindus and Muslims that get along.
So you said mosques are being covered. You brought it up.
It is the government. It is the damn government that wanted this to be covered. When they should be promoting inclusiveness, they are
Kevin, then when we lose reasonable logic to say that 15 years ago it was an okay symbol, but now it's an un-okay symbol because of Yogi and Modi, now people will judge you. No, people will judge you for the reasonabarablness of that. That sounds like hypocrisy because it is hypocrisy. Okay, I'm short of time. I'm short of time. Narayan Tirupati, 30 seconds, sir.
Yeah, if governments are responsible, then I think this is the first government in the last, right from the independence. This government has maintained the law and order, religious harmony, because in the last 10 years, there are no bomb blasts, there are no civilians attacked or civilians died. And this is if Mr. Kevin says that government is responsible, this government, that Modi and Yogi's government are responsible for the peace.
Okay. I have a question. Kevin, how was it promoting enmity and division by putting the Tamil Sengol on India's parliament?
Correct.
As I said, that is one half measure.
No, because the DMK boycotted that ceremony. So how did that ceremony promote division and enmity?
Correct.
See, I don't speak for the DMK, and I'm sure.
Fair enough. You don't speak for them. Nobody's suggesting you do. But why would any political party boycott that ceremony? Isn't that an insult to Tamilians by not showing up?
So if that was an insult to the Tamilians, why did the Tamilians elect them? Why are the Tamilians supporting them? It is just because
the politicians did. I can think of a lot of Tamilians who are very happy to see the Tamil Sengol in India's parliament.
Correct.
And then, so if you're saying that the DMK took an opposing stance to the Tamilians, then do you think, are you saying that DMK is doing political suicide? Then it's a good,
No,
if that is the case, it's a
I
good
don't
thing.
know political
They have-
suicide because I've seen the DMK come down to 0 seats in the Lok Sabha and I've seen them re-emerge as the single largest party out of Tamil Nadu. That's politics. The question is political hypocrisy. Sumit, last 30 seconds. I'm out of time.
I just want to make one point. We can talk about all the linguistic, color divides, food divide, every kind of divide in India. But when we show to the world, 660 million people come, 66 crore people come, not only Hindus from all states of India, every second Hindu went there. Christians came, Muslims came, Jews came, Zoroastrians came, diplomats came, foreigners came, everybody came to that melting pot Kumbh. Not one instant of, chat, forget rape, forget torture, forget trying to convert somebody, forget trying to give those, calls of genocide and forget talking of, dominance of Hindus. If Kumbh is not the proof of what we really mean.
All right. Okay. Sumit, I've understood the point. I think everybody who's listening has understood the point. I'll leave it with reasonableness. If we can have reasonable conversations, we'll have far more effective conversations. If we have already agenda-driven conversations, we're in trouble. It is perfectly reasonable for people in Tamil Nadu to feel aggrieved that why should others not make an effort to understand our language? Why should we be constantly be asked, even subliminally? That's perfectly reasonable. It's also perfectly reasonable to say that there is no particular political reason why a Tamil Sangangam should be happening in Gujarat and Varanasi. It is because we want to fix this. It is also reasonable to say that the rupee symbol was designed by a Tamilian. It was adopted under a previous government in which Tamil parties, including the DMK, were allies 15 years ago. This was not an issue for 15 years. This is being made into an issue. It's an issue that is a waste of time. There are better issues for us to focus on our energies, and I'm hoping that those are aspirational issues. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we don't get consumed by what divides us and can find more commonalities in what unites us. I thank my guests for having this conversation, as complex as it was. See you in a minute.